Hello, listeners. It's Gunter here with some exciting news. We're on the lookout for sponsors to join us on our incredible journey with Inspired Change with Gunter. If your organisation cares deeply about meaningful conversations around masculinity, self development, and mental health, we'd love to partner with you. Our podcast has a wonderful, dedicated audience committed to personal growth and positive social change. By sponsoring Inspired Change with Gunter, your brand will connect with listeners who truly value thoughtful discussion and support initiatives that promote real transformation. We're incredibly proud to be ranked number 1 in Australia and number 5 in the USA on FeedSpot's top men's mental health podcasts to listen and follow in 2024. With an average of 50,000 downloads per episode each week from listeners all around the world, our reach is significant and growing. For more information on how to become a sponsor, please reach out to Miranda Spiegner Sapon, our showrunner and executive producer at miranda@noirtainment.com. We'd love to explore how we can work together to inspire change. Now, thank you for your continued support, and let's keep inspiring change together.
You're listening to Inspire Change, a broadcast that strives to educate, motivate, and empower men to challenge traditions of masculinity. To guide us through the intricacies and intersections of emotions, relationships, and male identity is renowned psychologist, author, and speaker Gunter Swoboda. This is Inspire Change.
Before I begin the actual podcast, I would like to respectfully acknowledge the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, who are the traditional custodians of the land on which I work. I would also like to pay my respects to their elders past and present. Welcome everybody to another episode of Inspired Change with Gunter. I'm your host. This is where we explore the intricacies of human relationships and the path to personal growth. Yes, you guessed it, I'm your host Gunter, and today we're diving deep into a particularly fascinating topic. I'm a psychotherapist as well as a psychologist, and as such, we dive deep into the human psyche, both our own but also that of our clients. So what's the topic today that I'm going to be approaching? Well, it's a little bit different because I'm actually going to look at what's called transference and counter-transference in intimate relationships. Now, let me stress this. This is not me looking at those two issues in the therapist-client relationship. This is me looking to help you understand your reactions and your partner's reactions better in your intimate relationship. So, as I said, these are concepts that are most often discussed in the realm of psychotherapy. But almost more importantly, they have a profound implication in our personal lives as well. So let me enlighten you for those who need enlightening, and let me, brush it up for those of you who sort of think that you know what I'm talking about. And for those of you who are therapists, please bear with me if I'm rehashing stuff, but I know I've got a very broad general audience out there, and I want everybody to sort of get onto the same page. So let's start with the basics. Transference is a psychological phenomena in which individuals project feelings, attitudes, and desires from their past relationships onto someone else in their present life. So in this instance, we're talking about your partner. Now, often these emotions are initially directed towards significant figures like parents or caregivers. But it could also be others that are influential in some way in your life. Now, when it comes to intimate relationships, this means you might be projecting your childhood experiences and emotions onto your partner without realizing it. Hence, the title of Untangling the Ghosts of Our Past. So let me give you an example. If you had a critical parent, you might find yourself expecting criticism from your partner, even when it's not there. Or if you felt neglected as a child, you might fear abandonment and rejection in your current relationship, causing anxiety and insecurities. Okay, so what's counter-transference? Well, counter-transference, on the other hand, is the reciprocal process where your partner responds to your transference with their own unconscious feelings and reactions shaped by their past experiences and emotional baggage. Now, as you can see, this can create a cycle where both partners react not to each other as they truly are, but to the ghosts of their past relationships. So, I want to explore this a little bit through some real life examples and their impacts on relationship. So, the first scenario is the parent child dynamic. Imagine a scenario where one partner, let's call him Alex, had an overly controlling mother. Alex might unconsciously seek a partner who exhibits controlling behaviours because it feels familiar. He might react strongly to any form of advice or suggestions from his partner, Emma, interpreting it as control. This is transference. Now, in turn, Emma might respond by feeling frustrated or helpless, reminiscent of how she felt with a demanding parent or sibling in her own past. This is what we call counter-transference. Without recognizing these patterns, their relationship can become a battleground of unresolved childhood issues. So, what's the impact on the relationship? Well, this dynamic can lead to frequent misunderstandings and conflict. Alex may feel suffocated and resentful, while Emma feels unappreciated and confused about why her supportive intentions are met with hostility. They're stuck in a loop of reacting to each other's past, not their present selves. Let me give you another scenario. This one we'll call idealization and disappointment. Consider another couple, David and Maria. David idealizes Maria, seeing her as a perfect partner who can do no wrong. This idealization is a form of transference, projecting his unmet needs for a perfect caregiver onto her, Maria. However, when Maria inevitably shows her human flaws, David feels a deep sense of disappointment and betrayal. Maria, picking up on David's idealization, might feel pressured to maintain an impossible standard, leading to anxiety and a fear of failure. This is her counter-transference, reacting to the pedestal David has placed her on. Again, what's the impact on the relationship? Well, this particular scenario creates a volatile dynamic, with Maria feeling constantly pressured and David swinging between adoration and disappointment. Their unrealistic expectations set them up for repeated conflicts and emotional turmoil. All right, let's take another one. And this is possibly a really common one that I tend to see, which is the abandonment fear. So again, let's take a look at another couple. This time it's Lisa and John. Lisa had an absent father who left when she was young. She might carry a deep-seated fear of abandonment into her relationship with John. This fear manifests as clinginess and jealousy, even when John gives no reason to doubt his commitment. This is Lisa's transference. John, who grew up with a very independent mother, might feel overwhelmed by Linda's neediness. He could react by distancing himself, which only heightens Lisa's fear of abandonment. This reaction is John's counter-transference. Okay, let's take a look at the impact then on Lisa's and John's relationship. Lisa's fear and John's distancing creates a cycle of anxiety and detachment. Lisa's increased need for reassurance pushes John further away, making her feel fears seem justified. Both partners are reacting to past wounds, not to the reality of their current relationship and the current commitments they have made to each other. All right, let me swing into one more of these scenarios, and this is the savior complex. Consider Sarah and Mark. Sarah grew up with a neglectful parent, so she has a very strong need to be cared for. In her relationship with Mark, she unconsciously expects him to save her from her feelings of inadequacy. This is Sarah's transference. Mark, on the other hand, had a parent who was always emotionally dependent on him. He feels a strong urge to save Sarah, feeling needed and important in the process with her. This is his counter-transference. So, what's the impact on their relationship? Well, this dynamic might initially feel fulfilling for both. Sarah feels cared for, and Mark feels important. Unfortunately, over time, it can become draining and unhealthy. Mark might start feeling overwhelmed and resentful, while Sarah might feel increasingly dependent and less empowered. So the question then, after hearing me talk about these scenarios, is how can we address these patterns? So, as always, the first thing is awareness. That's the first step. Basically, recognizing that you might be transferring past experiences onto your partner, that this can help you pause and reflect before reacting. It's about distinguishing between past and present emotions. So, some key strategies here. The first one, self reflection. Take time to reflect on your reactions and feelings. Ask yourself if your responses are proportional to the current situation or if they're amplified by past experiences. Another strategy is open your communication. Discuss these patterns with your partner in an open and non-judgmental way. Don't point the finger. For example, Alex could share his feelings about control and how they relate to his past, while Emma could talk about her own experiences and how they influence her reactions. Empathy and understanding is always a good strategy. Practice empathy by trying to understand your partner's perspective, but at a deeper level. This, in particular, can help break the cycle of projection and reaction. Remember, as I've said in past podcasts, we don't want to react, we want to be able to respond to each other. And finally, a strategy is to get therapeutic support. Therapy provides a safe space to explore, especially these dynamics, and develop healthier ways of relating. A therapist can help you identify and understand your transference and counter-transference patterns, offering tools to help break the cycle. Now, again, as I said, a large part of this was obviously part of my training as a psychotherapist, but it significantly helped me in understanding and getting to understand my partner at a deeper level. It led to me taking ownership for my own ghosts and how they influenced my reaction to her. And it allowed us to open up our conversation at a deeper level. So, to wrap it up, Transference and counter-transference are powerful forces that shape our intimate relationships, often without our awareness. But it's not just intimate relationships. These things can happen in your relationship with your boss, with members in your team. It's not unusual for me to hear from someone and go, I don't know what it is, but I just don't react well to my boss. Obviously, there is some process of transference and counter-transference going on. By understanding and addressing these dynamics in an aware state, we are on the road to building more authentic and fulfilling connections with our partners and other people. And remember, it's about seeing each other for who we truly are, not just through the lens of our past. So again, let me thank you for joining me today on Inspired Change with Gunter. I sincerely hope that an episode like this will help you to understand yourself better and lead you to understanding your partner better and therefore having a deeper, more connected relationship with each other. So, thank you for joining me today. If you found this episode insightful, please share it with others who might benefit from understanding these psychological dynamics. And always remember, let's keep inspiring change together. This is me signing off. Love to hear from you. And if you're interested, please check out my work on www.gunterswoboda.com or www.goodmengreat.com.
Thank you for listening to Inspire Change, a broadcast that strives to educate, motivate, and empower men to challenge traditions of masculinity. For more information on the Making Good Men Great movement, or for individual or group coaching sessions with Gunter, visit goodmengreat.com. For inquiries regarding broadcast topics or appearing on the show, email Miranda@noirtainment.com. That's Miranda at NOIRTAINMENT.com.